and hopefully we'll be able to atone for putting down some of our dear friends by fulfilling Quilana's wish to release her mother from her torment. Again, I don't think this is all that bad. Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Adventurer Salad, ready to do some exploring today. We are back to I Played a Thing, Dark Souls Prepare to Die Edition, and we're going to explore some areas that we have not previously wandered through before, hence the Wanderer set, and the Jaunty Adventurer's Chapeau. But first, I want to drop off an ember with our friend the Giant Blacksmith here. We've been toting around that crystal ember from the Duke's archives, and might as well get that turned in while we can.
What's that? Shiny, shiny. Give me that. I make weapons shiny.
He's reminding me a bit of Gao from Final Fantasy VI here. Can anything really be that shiny? Yeah, I don't really know about the actual value of crystal equipment, what with its disposability, but at least we have the option to construct it on our own now if we should ever have such a desire. While I'm in the neighborhood, I think I'll grab a couple of large Titanite shards, just because I don't have any of those in reserve. Alright, good enough. Good to see you, big guy. Now, also, there is one other ember that I have not yet collected. It is the other one we can give to Griggs of Vinheim. And that we can pick up in Darkroot Garden, in an area of the level we did not previously investigate. It's completely optional, you never actually have to go there, but I'm going to because we can pick up that ember, and I believe there are also a few enemy types there that we have not previously seen. So I will catch up with you in just a bit in Darkroot. Alrighty then. Back into Darkroot. And some of our friends are going to have respawned here, I think, but not all of them. Nevertheless, we will approach with a bit of care. Hello. I see you certainly respawned. But you are worth some pretty good souls if I recall correctly, so I won't complain too much about the chance to drop you again. Now I'm going to find my way back to Alvina, and I think I'm going to join back up with the Cat Bros. I'm not entirely sure that'll keep me from being invaded, but it might. Can't hurt in any case. That's not an illusory wall, that's a big-ass cat.
What does that say?
Yeah, let's do it.
I am very glad.
We're certainly not going to get any more use out of the Chaos Servants at this point.
If mine's friend, I shall
etc., etc. Now you will remember beyond this point is where we had our regrettable battle with Sif. But if we explore off to the right, I believe, then we will have the opportunity to explore more of Darkroot. And, oh, there goes my cell phone. Well, I'm just going to ignore it for the moment. Just try and ignore that. And if we wander off this way, we should find some new enemy types and eventually be exposed to that ember we're looking for. I believe you can also access this area by coming up a ladder from Darkroot Basin that we probably passed once or twice in our explorations there, and I see a mushroom wandering about in the distance. That's unusual, isn't it? Yes, these little shrooms are one of the new enemy types. They don't seem terribly interested in us. And the little ones aren't particularly dangerous. Yeah, they don't seem too aggressive at all. Although all their footstep noises are a little unsettling. Yeah, it looks like the basin is down there. Alright, now I know somewhere hereabouts is the whatchamacallit, the ember we're looking for. Is that Sif's door over there? I'm not certain. Anyway, this area is what became of the Royal Wood in the future, as I believe I mentioned when we were exploring said Royal Wood. But now that Alicia is long gone, it's not so royal anymore, I suppose. Yeah, little mushroom guys. Ah, here we are. This watery area is what I was looking for. And here we meet the big shroom people, who are a little less friendly to us. They are very slow, and they telegraph their attacks for days. But you should not take them too lightly, because if I am not mistaken, they actually have a stronger pure physical attack than any other enemy in the game. Yes, they hit that hard. I think Cecil's discharge hits harder when you take his fire damage into account, but for pure physical damage, nothing hits harder than a mushroom guy. I'm fairly certain. If they're not the hardest, then they're damn close. Oh shit. Yeah, that almost got really bad there. Not sure if you can backstab these guys. I've been kind of trying to get around them, and it doesn't seem to be working, but it might just be that their sweet spot is difficult to hit. But yeah, that big slow haymaker of theirs, that will almost definitely one-shot you unless you have a tremendous amount of vitality. And you see, that right there, that is why you should not get careless about these guys. The sheer slowness of their attacks can actually screw up your timing a bit and make you feel silly. So let's see if we can do that a little more properly this time. Now that I'm a Covenant member, I don't think this guy's going to care about me. Well, that's an interesting message. There is a covenant called the Gravelords, the Gravelord servants, rather. And they can sort of infect your world with disasters, which are very strong Red Phantom versions of enemies. Typically, you cannot get Gravelorded until New Game Plus, but, well, apparently I somehow did anyway. I didn't actually see any disasters, though, so I don't know what the deal was there. Possibly just a bit of glitchiness. Dark Souls is a fairly stable game, but it does have its moments. Not entirely sure where I am. This is a big area. Well, you know how it is with me. It's never a proper LP unless I get lost a whole bunch of times. got some more tree people here. Fortunately, they aren't much of a threat. Oh wow, I can't one-shot them with my R1? That surprises me. I think at this point in the game, with equipment like this, I would have been able to. Oh, and by the way, friends, I should mention, I do beg your pardon for only getting one video up last week, as opposed to the two I've been aiming for lately. Damn it. I have been rather ill, and I am still a little under the weather, but good enough to do some recording now. That said, I do apologize if I occasionally make some unpleasant noises in my throat, because I am a bit of a phlegm elemental at present. Good gravy, there are a lot of tree people around here. Not at all sure where I... Oh, wow. Careful there, Salad. Being slain by this caliber of Zako at this point in the game would be quite embarrassing, and also perhaps a bit ironic, considering your own leafy nature. I officially have no idea where in the forest I actually am. Hi, guy. And R2 will most certainly drop them. One thing I can say for sure, at any rate, is that I am in the wrong place, because there are lots of tree guys here, and absolutely no fungi. So I humbly ask that you bear with me while I figure out where the hell I am, and where the hell I'm going. But then again, if you've been watching me for a while, you'll be no stranger to such things. Also, there is one other enemy type somewhere in the forest that I've yet to run afoul of, and I'm not sure exactly where they am. Where they are. So I'm having a bit of a care about them, because they are a bit more dangerous than your average bear. Oh, that's interesting. I got the Shiva set there, the Eastern set, but it is the one that Shiva of the East always wears. What is this? Oh, just a bit of droppage from the tree people. Is that another tree drop there? I think it is. Well, this is certainly off to the start of being a rather dick-aroundy sort of episode, and hopefully it'll discover a bit more focus in the reasonably near future. In the meantime, do beg your pardon. Got some messages around here. I think this is where I came through. Yep. This is the other side of the little Alvina ruins. So if I take another wander through the Alvina ruins, I should find my way to where I ought to be. Hi, brigand guy. Right, we cross the bridge, we head down, and not too far into the distance, we should find the Fungal Clan. Yep, I see little shroom people off in the distance, and I see my soul pile. Hey, Mr. Big Stuff. I'm going to be extra careful with you now. I like those 1-2s. And every so often they'll throw that one big sort of chopping right hand. Oops, be careful. There we go. Oh, what do these guys drop? I didn't remember them having drops. Gold pine resin. That's kind of odd, but I'll certainly take it as a freebie. Collect our goods. And before we try and loot yon chest... Yeah, that was the haymaker. That's the one you really gotta be careful of. But at least when they do the haymaker, you know you're not in danger of getting clipped by a follow-up swing. Oop, didn't want that kick. More gold pine resin. So I guess if you like your lightning damage and just want to do buffs with it, then there's your opportunity. Get some farming of that. And here's that enchanted ember that we wanted for Griggs. But I'm going to explore just a little further this way and see if there's anything else of interest here. Those other enemies I know are around here somewhere. Hey, little guy. Even if you do get the aggro on you, the little guys are really not that much of a danger. As far as I recall, their most dangerous attack is actually tripping and falling against you, which is about as effective as it sounds. Oh, good soul item, that's nice. So where's that other class of enemy? I would like to show it off for LP. Oh, there we go. It's like Alvina meets Sonic. They do have a very nice spin dash. And these guys are significant enough that the game seems to consider them sort of mini-bosses, because they do not respawn. If you encounter them early in the game when you have some of your first access to Darkroot Garden, they are absolutely murderous, but with equipment of this caliber, they are not that bad. Whoa, hi! Thought you could get the literal drop on me, did you? And I think this is the whole crowd. I don't believe there are more than 3 of them. They have a grab, which makes them a little more dangerous, but they don't seem to use it a whole hell of a lot. Their most dangerous attack, I would say, is that spin dash, because that can really tear through your stamina if you have to shield tank it. But they use that mainly at a fairly good distance. That, I think, that slow bite, that is their attempt to grab. They just catch you in their mouth and shake you about. Yeah, I suspect these particular kitties may be of the same species as Alvina. They are a bit larger, but they have that same freaky, Jack, what's-his-face from Gangs of New York, sort of split grin. Oh, and this is that ladder that leads down into Darkroot Basin. Not sure if there's anything else up here on the other side. Let's finish up our explorations for the moment and see if there is. Now, where the hell am I now? Was this where I was wondering about before with all the tree people I had to cut down? Yes, I do believe it is. Well, what I am going to do now, then, I think we've pretty much done everything we can do in Darkroot. I am going to get myself out of here, and we're going to take that ember to Griggs, and then we are going to continue our explorations of exciting new territories. Back in a flash. Alright, here we are back again in romantic New Londo. Before we pass along that new ember of ours, let's take a quick glance at it. This enchanted ember, a form of sorcery, is a vestige of the lost land of Ulasil, which is appropriate, as we found it in the one-time Royal Wood. Now, I believe I mentioned before that enchanted weapons are like magic weapons, only more so. What it is it really just completely focuses all the scaling on your magic stat. So if you're an intelligence type of character, and your strength and dexterity aren't good for other scaling, then that can be advantageous to you. But for now, we're giving it to Griggs. Not Griggs, Rickert. I'm sorry, have I been saying Griggs the whole time? I mean Rickert of Vinheim, the other Vinheim guy. Anyway, we'll just give that to him because he seems really psyched about it.
Hey, hang on. Is that a sorcery ember? Oh, I've never seen one like that. Not even back in Vinheim. What a brilliant flame. Please, friend, let me have that, I am begging you. I am a craftsman of Vinheim. I'd go hollow before I pass him a flame like that.
Well, how could we turn down such an impassioned plea?
Oh, really? You are wonderful. I will forge a Rickett masterpiece just for you. A weapon to make a legend out of it.
Well, that's sweet of you, Ricky.
Come back soon. Smithing helps soothe my nerves. Don't let me wither away out of idleness.
Oh, come on, you can't possibly wither away. You've got a shiny new toy to play with. Anyway, you know, folks, I now feel myself drawn back toward the Great Hollow that we briefly stuck our heads back into a little while back. You may recall that was a hidden path out of Blighttown. And that is one of the great legends of Lordran. So what kind of explorer would we be if we didn't plumb the depths of the Great Hollow? So I'm just gonna make my way back down into Blighttown to that secret entrance once again. And I will see you when I get there. Alright friends, here we are back in Old Blighty, and let's see if I can actually remember where that tree leading up to the Great Hollow actually is. Thankfully, at this point in the game, crag spiders ain't shit. I just need to find my way back to that big-ass tree and where all the green titanite offering slugs are. I see big roots, so this does seem to be roughly the right direction, I think. There's a great big tree. Is that going to be the right vicinity? I think so. Oh, I see the ramp leading up to the way I need to go. So that's all very fortunate. And I see slugs. So yeah, we're good. Just make sure to take care of these guys with a bit of care. And not dropping any more green titanite for me. Oh well. It's not that we're in any desperate need of the stuff. I don't tend to make a whole lot of use out of the elemental weapons, which are what green titanite is usually used to up to a point, before it switches to one of the other specifically colored titanites, like blue or white or red. And here we are, the Great Hollow. I don't know that the game ever really makes it clear specifically, Dark Souls being a coy minx when it comes to specifics about the lore. But I suspect this may be one of the ancient arch trees from the days of the early Age of Fire, which gave shelter to the everlasting dragons. I don't know that I've ever kindled this bonfire. And I like to be thorough about such things, so let's pop a humanity just in case. Let's see if it gives us that option. Nope. Nope, I already did hit this one. Okay, fair enough. Now, the Great Hollow is notable for a few things. One is that it is a very vertical area, with lots of opportunities to fall to your death. So fortunately, we've anchored ourselves at that bonfire in case such a thing should happen. There are basilisks around, and there are an absolute shit ton of crystal lizards. I'm not really in desperate need of any particular sort of titanite, so I'm not going to worry too much about being thorough with the crystal lizards, but this is definitely one of the primary places to hunt them. Ooh, how do I get in there? I think that may be a thing I have to fall to from above from a certain place. Let me see if I can't figure that out, how to get into that tree there. Because of all the labyrinthine root ramps, this area can definitely be a little on the confusing side. Yeah, that seems like a little too far a fall for me to live through. So let's see if we can do an intermediate stop right... Whoa, slidey slidey. That wasn't quite where I wanted to end up, but it may be good enough. Nothing in this not-so-great hollow. Okay, that's where I was before. I can't make a jump from there. Let me try this one more time. I think I might know what item that is, and it's one worth having, although since I'm so married to my Fap ring and my covetous gold serpent, I probably won't make a whole lot of use of it if it's what I think it is. Alright, here goes nothing. Well, it didn't quite kill me, and I seem to be in the right place. Good enough for me. And it is what I thought, the Chloranthy ring. This is, again, a really nice ring, even if I won't probably use it, because I don't have the ring slots to spare. This ancient ring, engraved with a large green flower, is of unknown origin. Hastens the regeneration of stamina. And having quick stamina recovery is always a plus, especially if you are a shield tanky creature the way that I am. Okay, and I think this is the area that I fell into previously. So yeah, that's okay. We can deal with that. Yeah, this is where I slid down to. And a chunk. Those are always nice. And I think I see a basilisk. I see multiple basilisks, in fact. So we will want to make sure we don't get ourselves cursed, but just like in the depths, they tend to die rather swiftly, so I think we'll be okay. Just mind the smoke. Yep, one shot, R1 or R2. No big deal at all. Hey, friend. I'm not dropping any Eyes of Death for me, which is a bit of a disappointment, but such is life. Let's see. Where should our explorations take us next? I see something a little bit shiny over this way, and that always seems like a good direction of pursuit. Question is, can I find my way down to it? Okay, if I fall through this little gap here, I will not quite slide off to my death. And it's a red chunk. Chunks of all kinds are a pretty respectable prize, so I shan't complain about that, even if I am not particularly hyped for flame and chaos weapons. The thing about flame, lightning, and chaos weapons, you cannot apply additional buffs to them, and I just like my magic weapons too much. Now how, pray tell, do I proceed downward from here? Is it perhaps on this route? It might be. Let's give it a try. Oh dear. Okay, still alive. That's the important part. I am glad I brought plenty of Estus. Thank you again, Firekeeper, for giving me that extra toasty flame for resurrecting you. Ooh, a ladder. That's an unusual convenience in this area. I see a shiny over there that I don't really know how to get to, but I'm not going to worry about it. We will take relatively safe points of descent where we can get them. If I'm not mistaken, this sort of carpeted root area here contains some more basilisks, and indeed I see one right there. So we will be careful as always not to get ourselves petrified. And I hear froggy noises, so that means another one is about. But as always, they are quick to drop, and they don't really have much capacity for doing actual damage to you. And there's a shiny. And it's a blue chunk. Oh, oh dear. I didn't know they had that much vertical range in their nasty smoky breath. Big old nest of basilisks, but that just means more impressive multi-kills for us. They are being very stingy with their eyes of death. Kind of a drag. It would be nice to have free Covenant items, but whatever. Okay, it is looking like we are getting toward the bottom of the Great Hollow. And if memory serves, that means we are going to start encountering, excuse me. That means we're going to start encountering first terrain-type mushrooms, and then enemy-type mushrooms. We have now seen those before. We know not to take them lightly, but we know we can manage them as long as we're careful. Let's see if I can get down to that. Indeed I can. More chunks. We like that. Yep, little mushroom people about. And where there are little mushroom people, there will eventually be big ones. And there they are, coming right up the ramp at us. The little ones here seem fairly aggressive themselves. But we'll need to be careful about that. Not that they're anywhere near as dangerous as their parental figures. The little scream they let out, I believe that will attract any mushroom parents if there are any around, but this one's already onto us, so it doesn't exactly matter. Playing it a bit risky here because I of course cannot see behind me and I'm not entirely certain of the terrain here, but one does as must. They are tough. As well as giving out a hell of a beating, they can take a pretty impressive one too. But eventually they fall, as all our foes must. Frame rate. Thank you. Little guys do try and take their swings at you on occasion, but they are not nearly as good at it, to say the least. As you can see, that managed to knock out a good near 50% of my health, so they're not entirely to be trifled with. Excuse me. Need some more terrain there. Thank you. Our friend here took a little spill, so we'll have to be careful descending to meet him. Not sure if there are any more big guys down here. Oh, yep, it would appear there are. Excuse me. As you've noticed, I am a player that tends to get rather easily caught by follow-up swings. So, one thing that's very nice about the big shrooms is you can always easily tell when they're going to do one. Because if they do that big chopping haymaker, then you know they don't have a follow-up swing in them. But if they do one of their standard hooks, they very likely will. Whoopsie. Careful there, Salad. Sometimes they recover a little faster than you might expect. Nice little 4-digit soul yield for them, even if it is the lowest of 4 digits. And here we are. I think we have come to the end, roughly, of the Great Hollow. Yes, we have. And welcome, friends, to magnificent Ash Lake. Oh, what am I looking at? I think we better get down there. Oh, what's going on here? Zigland? That couldn't be. But the sword, I know it's... Zigland, what the hell happened here?
My father. They will follow him. Nothing to do. He will cause no more trouble. It's finally over. I will return to Katerina. You assisted us so greatly. I can hardly return the favor, but please accept it. It's of no use to me now.
Oh no.
Dear Father.
Oh, Ziggy. You went hollow? I never knew you were that close, man. If you needed humanity, I had plenty to spare. But then, I suppose you wouldn't want to be in any further debt to me now, would you? That was the way you were. Well, Zigmeyer, I'm glad we got to fight together at least once. We'll remember you, friend. Journey onward, Sir Onion. Your wife awaits. Yes, as I've said, I'm really not sure which is the right thing to do with Zigmeyer. Whether it's to prevent him from leaping into the Chaos Eater pit and letting him be miserable in his debt with you, and his fate goes unrevealed, but at least there's a chance he survived. Or to do this and to see the end of his tragic story. But at least you know. And at least he got to pay off some of his debt to you. And he got to hear the last words of his long-lost wife. It's a tough call, folks. But at the very least, I'll be able to show you the alternative later. And here we have another Hydra, in a more immediate concern, which is just like the one in the Darkroot Basin, in most respects. Has the same distance attack, it has the same multi-headed melee, and all around it can be fought pretty much the same way. And I'm going to do something a little bit different with it. First, if I can get away. There is a shiny here that I will wish to collect. What I'm gonna do is proceed along the beach here in Scenic Ash Lake and see if I can't, oh, you know what? Occurs to me there's one other thing I'd like to do here that I did not do when I had my first opportunity. I should really kindle up Ziggy's bonfire and give him a nice eternal flame. There we go. Now then, as I was saying, this particular Hydra does have one slightly different behavior than you can get from the one in Darkroot Basin. That one will never do it. I'm not entirely sure how you tease out said behavior, but I'm going to try and do it just by running along the beach and probably getting myself shot a few times. We'll just have to be as careful as we can. Lots of dragon scales here. Makes me wonder if once again this isn't a site of arch trees. Looking at all the blasted trunks off in the skybox, I think that is very likely the case. This is where the Witch of Izalith probably, along with her daughters, destroyed a lot of the arch trees that provided shelter to the everlasting dragons as part of Gwyn's big campaign against them. We've got some clammy ones here too. Which are apparently quite vulnerable to friendly fire. Ooh, that hurt. So did that. Let me see if I can get a little cover here behind this bit of driftwood or whatever it is. Once again, I find myself very relieved that I brought plenty of Estus. There it goes! Jump, Free Willy! Jump with all your might! That's what I was looking for. Well, let's get on the other side of the cover here so we can deal with this clam at our leisure. And then we will do away with the Hydra now that we've seen the magnificent Free Willy launch. Ooh, gotta respect those clams, man. Gotta respect their drops, though, too. They always have good ones. Whether it's a Twinkling Titanite or a Purging Stone, they're both very nice to have. Hey, buddy. Gonna try your melee? There we go. And I'm going to try whiffing spectacularly. That's better. Hey, doing the magic slash at point blank range is very dirty cool. We don't appreciate that one bit. Come on, close the distance. Get back here. And that is one downside to baiting out the Free Willy, is the Hydra does tend to be a little more difficult to deal with on this side. Oh, come on, Salad, get your aim right. Well, it's going for melee again, and that's what we principally need here. I would say this Hydra is overall easier to deal with just because it's later in the game and you have such better equipment and a little more flexibility in how you want to deal with it. But as you can see, it remains a little awkward to hit sometimes. But there goes another head. So progress. It's somewhat slow and awkward and not terribly interesting to watch, but it is progress. So I thank you for bearing with me in the meantime. Ooh, that one pulled away quick. You gotta be careful, just as with the past Hydra, that we don't wade out too far. Because we can get ourselves killed in the depths here. Okay, I got a hit in, that's a start. Wow, that one gets away so fast. I'm just gonna stand here and wait for it. There we go. But Salad, that kick was not terrifically helpful. Nor was getting whacked. I think I got a hit in. I hope so. Back up a little further, see if we can get a better vantage point here. No, that sucked. Ah, there we go. I think there might just... Nope, there's two heads. I thought there might be just one. And they're coming out way over here. That's going to be tough to hit. Oh, hey, it's at it. Very good, and we get 2 dragon scales and 5-digit souls. Kind of a pain in the ass, but worth it in the end, I should say. I do love the Ash Lake area, despite what it often means for our dear friend Zigmeyer. It's kind of a beautiful area, really, in a desolate sort of way. A hell of a lot of atmosphere to that music. And just like the Painted World of Ariamis, it's really kind of far out that FromSoft would put such an extraordinarily visually stimulating area in a place where so many people might miss it entirely. There's absolutely no need to ever go here. And being hidden behind two illusory walls, it's not necessarily easy to find either. I don't think I can go up that route. No, that goes right into the depths. I think we might be able to investigate this tree in some way. Whoop. And I believe there are some basilisks in here, and then... oh, a shroom guy, too. We will be careful as always. So yeah, I think there might be a unique spell or something in here. I really can't remember with any certainty, but I know there's some reason this tree is important. Because it's not really necessary that you go into it, but I remember there being a reason to do so, which hopefully I'll be able to find again. Okay, that'll be the way I came in, so let's take the ramp, see if there's anything up here. Oh. Suicidal basilisk. Interesting. I could swear there was something of importance around here. Hang on, folks. I'm just going to poke around this tree a little bit longer, see if I can figure out what it is that I'm missing, because I know there was some kind of thing here, and I want to say it was a spell. But I'll be damned if I can remember where I stuck it. Can I get up there? Do I need to jump that? I really don't remember at all how this works. Okay, this is where the suicide basilisk was. Can I go up that way? Nope, doesn't look like it. Checking, 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 checking. Well, tree, you have defeated me. Okay, that direction seems to be forward. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to see maybe if there's anything hiding around the side here. Nope. Maybe I'll figure it out later, but for the moment it's really not of critical importance. That's annoying me, but oh well. We're just going to continue on. Is this nesting behavior for the legged skull-filled clam? Well, if it is, I feel a little bit bad for invading its happy home, but it did aggro on us immediately, so I suppose we can still call it self-defense. What you got for me? Oh, both kind of drops. That's always nice. And if memory serves, in this final gigantic archtree, we will have one other major discovery to wrap up our explorations of the Great Hollow and Ash Lake for the time being. This area just has some truly wonderful visuals. I know I've been saying that a lot, but I mean, look at that shit. And wouldn't it figure, folks, that in the home of the Archtrees we would find a surviving everlasting dragon? And yes, I believe this bonfire is already kindled up to +1, meaning that the dragon here is technically a firekeeper. And the thing about the everlasting dragon here, as you may recall, they are pretty much immortal, with only special things like Gravelord Nito's disease and Lord Gwyn's lightning being able to do anything to them. We certainly can't hurt it. And we can actually beat on the everlasting dragon all we want, and it gives no fucks. It just will not react at all. And we cannot kill it. See, even though its health has been zeroed out, it just pops back up and it keeps on ticking. So this is actually kind of a useful place if you want to test your weapon damages. You can just, you know, experiment with buffs and different weapon equipment and whatever, and see what does the most damage, because this is a critter you can hit all day and just watch the numbers go up, and there will never be any consequences for it. One other thing we can do here, we can cut off the everlasting dragon's tail, and it is never going to care. Tail gone, made into a greatsword, no fucks given. Let's take a look at that. If I can find it. There we go. This sword, one of the rare dragon weapons, came from the tail of the stone dragon of Ash Lake, descendant of the ancient dragons. Well, I suppose we knew that because we just got it that way. Let's have a prayer here. And this is where you can enter the Dragon Covenant. Path of the Dragon. And by leveling up in that covenant, which you do using dragon scales, then you can eventually become sort of a dragon yourself by getting a dragon head item and a dragon torso item, which give you various draconic powers. And you can get dragon scales in the usual way, finding a bunch of them around here, or by farming them from the blue dragons in Valley of the Drakes. And you can also PvP with other members of the Dragon Covenant to battle it out for dragon scales. So that's how you level up and get your dragon body parts. We're not going to mess around with that now, but if I can scrape up enough dragon scales, I'll try and show that off for LP purposes. And I believe this is a warpable bonfire, so you can easily come back here anytime. For the time being, though, I think, with the great everlasting dragon in the background, we are going to call it a day. It has been a pleasure, folks, despite the tragedies we've experienced today. And next time, on I Played a Thing, Dark Souls Prepare to Die edition, we get a rollin' on the final Lord Soul, the one belonging to Nito, first of the dead. Take care, everyone. Apologies for any quirks in my voice due to my present illness, but it has been a pleasure, and I will see you very soon. Well, I'm one day late for Valentine's Day, but I would still like to send out some love to those very generous patrons, such as Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zagamarth, Charlie Dunst, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Johnny Millennium, Sanguine Games, Joseph Coco, Canis, Misha Van Doren, Craig Patterson, and Frank Grizzy. And thank you, as always, to everyone who's been watching, commenting, subscribing, and all that good stuff. Glad to have you along, and hope to keep you around for a while. Till next time.